I'm back. What do I have planned for today? Keep watching. It could look kind of cakey. Hi peoples, welcome to my channel, Bernie Playing with Makeup. My name is Bernadette. All my friends and subscribers call me Bernie, so if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell because you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back and thank you so much for your support. It is appreciated. We're here and it's going down. We're going to be reviewing the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I have had this for a minute. This is not a first impressions video. What you don't know is you've already seen me with this foundation on. If you saw my base box video for the month of January, if you haven't seen it, I will link it in the cards above. I have this foundation on. So what had happened was I did my face, I did my review video, but I didn't have any audio. It was at the end of that video that I realized, OMG, I did not turn the microphone on. So the entire video was filmed with zero audio. Yes. So I already have my thoughts on this. I'm gonna keep my thoughts until the appropriate time. What I also have is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm Cream. I have all 5 shades. What I'm not sure yet is whether or not I'm going to insert the clips from that video or if I'm going to swatch these again in this video. We will find out when we get there. We're going to be prepping our skin totally different in the way we normally prep our skin. Normally when I'm using a matte foundation, I prep my skin, I hydrate my skin, but I tend to hydrate my skin using a facial oil. For a matte powder foundation or for any type of powder foundation, what you need is more hydrating products that are water-based. My skincare, my serum and all that stuff has been sitting on my face now for maybe an hour or 2, but what I want to do is go ahead and put some hydrating water-based skincare products on my skin. The first thing I'm going to go in with is this right here. This is from Volition Beauty. This is the Snow Mushroom Water Serum. I got this from a BoxyCharm box and I have been absolutely addicted to it. It is very hydrating. I absolutely love it. I'm going to put a few drops in my hands. If you're not new, you know my skin type is combination. I tend to have the perimeters of my face is normal and then my T-zone is my T-zone is oily. So during the winter months, my face tends to get dry all over. It's not really cold here in the Bahamas, but it gets dry. And I noticed that affects my skin. So for my skincare, I like to use a water-based moisturizer that's gonna provide hydration to my face. There are 2 that I have. I have a drugstore one, although Neutrogena is getting up there in price. I like to use this one from Neutrogena. This is their Hydro Boost Water Gel. It's very good. I think this is somewhere around $11–12. And then I also have this one here that I've been playing with lately. This is from Belif. This one I got in a little kit. I got it in this kit here. It came with a full-size moisturizer, and then there's a cleansing balm, there's an eye treatment, and a little travel size toner. So this is perfect for if you want to travel. But the reason why I got this was I really wanted the moisturizer, but then I got an opportunity to get these 3 little items that I could try for the same price as I would pay for the full-size moisturizer. This is what this looks like. It's very watery. So if we compare the two, this is the Neutrogena one and this is the one from Belif. They're both the same watery consistency. The Belif moisturizer does have some fragrance in it. So if you are sensitive to fragrance, you may want to keep that in mind. It's not overpowering or off-putting at all. I've been using the eye mask from Elemis that I also got from BoxyCharm. I have a little bit of that on already, but I want to try this eye moisturizer that came in the little kit from Belif. This is a bit thick. I have a few visitors on my face. We're working to try and get those off. I have no idea what's going on with them. There's still one final step that I have to my skin prep in terms of my skincare. We all know what that is if you are not new to this channel, and if you are new, what you need to know is here on Bernie Playing with Makeup, we do not mess around when it comes down to putting SPF on our skin. We make sure we protect our face. We always use SPF here. And I'm using the LANCOME VISIONNAIRE Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 20. So this here is a bit oily. I already have some on. I wanted it to, you know, dry down a little bit. Guys, like the light just is getting on my nerves. I just invested in new light and it still isn't working. It's just like the quality of lighting I was hoping to get after getting brand new lights, I'm still not getting, and it's very irritating. Now that my skin prep, everything has already had a little bit time to, you know, absorb into my skin, I'm ready to prime before I go in with this foundation. The primer I'm going to use, I'm going to use a hydrating primer. My goal is to keep my skin as hydrated as possible because the powder foundation, that is going to absorb a lot of the moisture out of your face, and you don't want your face to look dry at all, especially you're using a powder foundation and you're using it during the winter months when it is dry. So I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Primer. Guys, this is my favorite primer, although we know some of y'all think I don't like Fenty. It isn't that I don't like Fenty. It's not that I don't like Fenty Beauty. I think her complexion products are very good, but a lot of the other products that she comes out with, I find them to be very gimmicky, and I don't think they perform well. But that's just my experience. It doesn't take away from your experience or the other person's experience. Everyone has their own experience with each item. You know, if I feel one way about it, it doesn't mean that that's how you're gonna feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. If you're seeing this thing right here, I had a whole breakout right there, and I've been spot treating the breakout, and now I'm just noticing I can see where I put the treatment this morning. So that's what that is. So here you can see my skin. It has a nice healthy glow. It's hydrated but not overly hydrated. I like the way that it looks. So now I am ready to start applying the makeup. On top of a powder foundation, liquid and cream is going to be very difficult to blend. So you want to go in with those products first before you come in with that powder foundation. The first thing I want to do is I want to go around the darker areas where my hyperpigmentation is worse, around my mouth. I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 430. Shade 430 pulls a little bit orange on me, so I'm using that as a color corrector. Using a damp beauty blender. The next thing I want to do, I want to spot conceal where I have some blemish marks. To do that, I'm going to use shade 420 in the Fenty Beauty Concealer. This is the same shade as my foundation shade in Fenty Beauty. I have been having a lot of breakouts lately. I know a lot of people like this concealer doesn't dry down quickly, but in my experience, this concealer does dry down quickly. I'm going to blend out wherever I spot conceal. I'm going to blend it out right away. I am going to use the Rare Beauty concealers for me to highlight. I just love how effortlessly these blend out. For a little bit of contouring, I'm going to use my cream bronzer from Fenty Beauty, and I'm using it in the shade 6 Chocolate. I want to give this little brush from Luxe Beauty. It's a contour brush. I'm going to give this a try. I haven't tried it yet. I don't think I've given this brush a try yet. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. I think it's perfect for carving out the cheeks, although for me, whenever I wear a powder foundation, I'm trying to get out of the door. I'm trying to create a very simple, natural look. It's perfect for just stamping that contour product right where you want it. I know that this is a bronzer, but this shade is very, very cool tone, and I think it works better on me as a contour. To blend up my concealer, I'm using this really small beauty sponge. I think this is from Luxe as well. We'll keep one thing in mind with your cream products. You have to get this right, because once you go in with your powder, there isn't a second chance to come back and fix the cream product. Normally when I put my cream products on before I put my foundation on, sometimes if I need to, I do get to come back and correct or put more cream product on. I'm not gonna have that opportunity to do that today because I'm putting powder on. So you have this one chance to get this right. So just take your time. I have a new cream blush that I want to try from Fenty, and this one is blush number 4, Crush on Cupid. That's the shade there. This is the cream product. I do always like putting my blush on before I set anything. That's what we're gonna do. These blushes, they have a lot of pigment when you first put them on, but it's gonna sheer out once you put powder on top of it. As bright as this is in the pan, it's a very subtle pink. Yes, I know I'm still on my pink train. We're ready for one of the main events, or ready for the main event, and that is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Powder Foundation. I do have the shade 420. 420 is my foundation shade across the board with Fenty Beauty. I know a lot of people felt like their regular foundation shade was too dark for them, but I went with Fenty Beauty's recommendation, which was your foundation shade is your shade, and you guys are gonna see how it performs on me in a minute. This is what the compact that it comes in looks like. That's what 420 looks like in the pan. Has a mirror, and this is like a magnifying mirror on this side. It does come with a little sponge. The sponge is very flimsy. It can be used more for like touch-ups, but I like the compact. It's very small and cute. You can just drop it inside your bag and you're good to go. When it comes to applying a powder foundation, the brush that you want to use depends on what kind of coverage you want. If you just want to get us a very sheer veil of coverage, then you want to use a more fluffy, loose brush like this one here. This is the Pat McGrath brush. I'm just showing you this as an example of what kind of brush you want to use. This is the Pat McGrath powder brush. If you want medium coverage, then you want to use a more compact dense brush. This brush here is the Luxie Beauty 502 round top blender brush. This is the brush that I want. I want medium to full coverage. It's noisy, it really is. The packaging. I'm just gonna tap into here. There is some kick up in the pan. Not necessarily in the pan, but you can see some powder coming up when you do that. And I'm gonna tap it off, and I'm just gonna start pressing this into my skin. And we're gonna see on this side, let's see how much coverage we're getting. And that's also gonna give you an opportunity to see if this is my correct shade. Now with Fenty Beauty, although there are 50 shades, I don't feel like I have my perfect shade. And that's because of the multiple discolorations that I have going on my skin tone. Which is no fault of Fenty Beauty or any other brand. Powder foundation can tend to sit on top of the skin. When I'm wearing powder foundation, I like to gently just push that product in. In terms of shade match, I do believe it is a good match. I don't think it's too dark. I mean, it depends on your own comfort level, but I would say that Fenty is on when they say what your foundation shade is in their other foundations is what your shade is going to be in this. Now I know from watching the reviews, I know we saw lots of reviews. I want to say probably 99.9% of the reviews that I personally saw, people felt like their shade was too dark. They got their foundation shade and they said that their shade was too dark. In fact, there's only one person that I saw who used a foundation shade, and that was the selling point for me to make up my mind and say, okay, when it was time for me to select my shade, that made me say, okay, my shade will be my shade. That person happened to wear the same shade as me, and I'm like, okay, well, if the shade is her shade as well and we wear the same shade, then all right, I'm gonna go with that. And I'm happy I did, because in person it definitely looks like it's my shade. Even though I'm putting powder like on my cheeks, I'm not putting powder under my eyes. I'm gonna set under my eyes using a setting powder. I do need to blend any creases that I know I already have right underneath my eyes out. It gives a really decent amount of coverage, and it feels extremely light. It doesn't feel like there's anything on my face right now. "5 minutes. You can walk past." We know he was walking past to make his cameos. I can still see this little blemish that I have here, but I'm okay with that. It's not every day you want full coverage. And as I said, for me, when I wear a powder foundation, I'm trying to get out of the door. Normally we're traveling early in the morning. When we travel, we tend to travel early in the morning. Eddie is on me to like, let's go. And I'm like, all right, grab the powder foundation. And I'm trying to put that on, I'm at the door. I'm getting a Your Skin But Better type 5 from this right now. guys know the drill. I'm gonna pop off camera. I'm gonna finish it up. Everything else that I'm gonna be using is not from Fenty Beauty. I'm gonna pop off, I'm gonna finish it up, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this. We are gonna do a wear test today. It's about 2:30 right now, so I'm gonna try to see if I can give you guys I'm gonna try if I can wear it until about 7-8 o'clock. Try. It is 3:54, so it's just about 4 o'clock. I've been gone for about an hour, and this is what my face looks like. I am absolutely loving this look. It looks very natural. I love the foundation. The foundation is light as air. It does not feel like I have anything on my face, even though I use the powder bronzer, I have the cream bronzer which I use to contour, I have concealer on, but it doesn't look like I have anything on my face. This powder foundation gives a decent amount of coverage. It really does. It gives you more than like light coverage. It gives you medium coverage. Now, in terms of building it up, powder foundations are very difficult to build up. You have to be very careful when you're building it up, because before you know it, you could end up with way more and it could look kind of cakey. So I wanted to be careful with that and not have it be too cakey. I can still see the blemish that I have right here that I tried to spot conceal, but it is still there. That's okay. This does give me your skin but better vibes. Now is a great time for you to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn the notification bell, because you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Back to the foundation. The foundation gives the finish it gives me your skin but better kind of coverage, and I really do like that. I feel like my skin can breathe through this. This is definitely that foundation that if I'm on the go, I gotta get out the house now, this is the kind of look that I would create. This is the foundation that I would want to pull from. I absolutely love it. It is light. So I prep my skin. Like I said, whenever I'm using a powder foundation, I want to make sure my skin is hydrated, because a powder foundation it will suck the moisture out, and I like to use water-based skincare to prep my skin so that my skin has a nice barrier. It has enough fluids that if the foundation is going to try to suck the water from it, it does have that extra bit of fluid that the foundation can pull away. And as you can see, my skin, it looks very hydrated. It has a healthy glow. It doesn't look oily. It doesn't look dry. It looks like it has a very healthy glow. And this is with the foundation being on now for about 2.5 hours. So I am quite happy with this finish so far. Now we're gonna put some of the claims to the test. The foundation is supposed to be transfer resistant. Let me see if I could see what the claims are on this box here. It just says medium to full coverage for all. It's light as air, flawless filter effect. So I'll look at the claims, and when I come back with my final update on how the foundation did, then we'll see if it met the claims. Right now, I'm loving the look. I don't have any issues with this. I'll come back. It's 4 o'clock. I will try to keep this on at least until about 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock. We're gonna be pushing it. I will come back with my final thoughts then, and I'll let you know how this foundation held up. But for right now, I am definitely loving this. It is simple. It is, like I say, the thing that keeps coming to my mind is my skin but better. Yeah, I'm definitely loving this. The cream lip gloss. I'm going to insert the lip swatch from when I did the video the first time. I'm going to insert that as opposed to swatching the foundation. So again, my lips are very dry. They feel extra dry right now. In fact, let me get a drink of water. My lips are dry and they get really dry. What I remember from doing that lip swatch when I originally filmed this video was my lips was so dry and just irritated that I ended that video with lip balm on. So I don't like doing lip swatch videos. So I will insert that footage into this video and I will give you my feedback on how I felt about the lip gloss. Right now, the one that I have on is Honey Waffles, and I have that paired with, what do I have it paired with? This is Pat McGrath. This is Ground Control, which I always call Ground Cinnamon, but this is Ground Control from Pat McGrath. That's what I have my lips lined with to get this caramelly nude lip that I have. The first lip gloss you're seeing is Mauve Wives. I'm showing you a swatch of it on the back of my hands and also on my lips. Next, I'm showing you Fenty Glow. There's also a swatch on the back of my hands. Fenty Glow is the original lip gloss that Rihanna launched. This is the one that we all know and fell in love with first. Next, you're looking at Honey Waffles. This shade is described as Honey Butter Brown. This is also the shade that I have on in today's video, and this also happens to be one of my favorites. This next shade is Cookie Jar. It's described as a chocolate caramel shade, and it is also my favorite of all of the lip gloss. The final shade is Fruit Snacks with a Z. It's described as Berry Red. This shade is definitely different from the other shades. Fenty definitely went there with this bright red shade. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the two Fenty Glow lip gloss, the original formula and the new cream formula. In my opinions, there really isn't that much difference. The only difference is that one has shimmer and the other one doesn't. My advice would be, if you already have the original formula, I would maybe skip especially the Fenty Glow in the cream and just get the other shades. In general, I would say if you have shades from Fenty in the original formula that is similar to these, I would skip those shades and just get the shades that I don't already have, because there isn't much difference. That is how I feel about the Fenty Cream Gloss Bombs. Hi guys, I am so sorry I was not able to do a complete 8-hour wear test. I was unable to come back with the check-in. I did keep the foundation on for over 8 hours, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I was not able to come back and show you guys what the foundation looked like. What I can tell you is that in my T-zone, oils did break through, which I kind of expected because that is where oils normally break through. Now, unfortunately, because of what was going on, I was not able to try to blot to see how easy it would have been to mattify the foundation. My overall thoughts on the foundation, though, did not really change. I think the foundation is a very nice foundation. It's a light as air foundation. I don't know that I think it's transfer resistant, but then I did have other products on top of the foundation. Again, I did not do a transfer test to see if it was transfer resistant, but overall I think it's a good foundation. I think it's a perfect medium to light coverage foundation. If you're thinking about a nice powder foundation, this is a foundation that I would definitely recommend. Those are my final thoughts on the foundation. As always, thank you guys so much for spending part of your day with me. Please make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn the notification bell. That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. As always, guys, please be safe. Bye.